Thomas? What are you talking about? Put whatever you're holding down! Thomas! Stop!
Have you ever had a friend suggest an idea so bad that it should have come with a warning label? Because that's basically how this story begins. Meet Thomas, a 19-year-old college student from Canada. On paper, he seemed like a pretty normal guy. In reality, things were a little more complicated. Thomas used to play rugby, and over the years he'd suffered multiple concussions. Doctors believed those repeated head injuries had seriously affected his brain, although nobody knew just how dangerous that might become. Fast forward to the winter of 2015. Thomas is back home for Christmas break, reconnecting with some old high school friends. Like most college kids on break, they decide to grab a few beers, head to a local sports bar, watch some hockey, and pretend they know what the referee is doing. Eventually, somebody gets bored and throws out the kind of suggestion that's almost guaranteed to end up in a police report. Hey, what if we all pitched in, bought some magic mushrooms, and hung out in Thomas's basement? And instead of someone saying absolutely not, everybody basically went, you know what? That sounds fantastic. So they bought the mushrooms, headed back to Thomas's mom's house, settled into the basement, and everyone took a dose. About an hour later, the mushrooms started doing exactly what mushrooms tend to do. Everyone was laughing, joking around, playing video games, and having a great time. Everyone except Thomas. He was just sitting there, watching everybody else enjoy themselves like he'd accidentally been given placebo mushrooms. Being the biggest guy in the group, Thomas figured maybe his body just needed more. Now, if you've ever heard someone say, "These aren't working," you already know what happened next. He grabbed another handful. A little while later, yeah, they were definitely working. Now Thomas was laughing with everyone else, wandering around the house, playing games, and everything seemed perfectly normal. Until around 2 in the morning. That's when the mood changed. Thomas suddenly became agitated. His speech stopped making sense. He started rambling in complete gibberish, getting increasingly paranoid, and his friends quickly realized this wasn't someone simply having a stronger trip than everyone else. Something was seriously wrong. Without saying much, Thomas suddenly bolted upstairs. His mom was asleep in her bedroom with her boyfriend when Thomas barged in, flipped on the lights, and simply sat down on the floor. His exhausted mom was understandably confused. She basically said, "Can you please turn the light off?" Thomas didn't respond, so she got up to do it herself. That's when she immediately realized something wasn't right. Thomas wasn't reacting normally at all. He quietly walked back toward his bedroom, and his mom followed to check on him. The noise woke up his younger sister, and that's when everything spiraled completely out of control. For reasons nobody could fully explain, Thomas suddenly became convinced that his mom and sister weren't actually his family anymore. He believed they were demons. He started shouting at his mom, calling her Satan, calling her the devil, while she desperately tried to calm him down. Then he turned toward both of them, pulled out his phone, switched on the flashlight, and started shining it in their faces like he was trying to expose some supernatural conspiracy. Needless to say, that wasn't helping. A few moments later, Thomas suddenly announced, "I'm going to Dad's house." His parents were divorced, but luckily, or what everyone thought was luckily, his dad lived only about a block away. His mom and sister tried to stop him from leaving. That didn't work. Thomas shoved past both of them, burst through the front door, and sprinted outside. Now remember, it's December, in Canada. The guy is barefoot, shirtless, and running through the snow like freezing temperatures had simply become optional. His mom grabbed a jacket and chased after him, but Thomas was moving so fast she eventually lost sight of him. One of Thomas's friends, who was probably still trying to figure out what planet he was on after taking mushrooms himself, jumped into the car with Thomas's mom and her boyfriend. They drove the short distance toward his dad's neighborhood. When they arrived, they spotted Thomas standing outside a random neighbor's house. The friend got out, walked over calmly, handed Thomas a jacket, and tried talking him down. For a second, it almost looked like it might work. Then Thomas suddenly started yelling. His paranoia had become full-blown psychosis. He declared, "I am God. Nobody can stop me." Not exactly the kind of sentence that makes you think, yeah, this conversation is going well. Thomas started cursing at his friend and moved toward him aggressively. The friend wisely backed into the car. Thomas wasn't finished. He picked up a rock, slam, right into the driver's side window. The first hit cracked it. The second weakened it. The third completely shattered the glass. Everyone inside immediately realized this situation was way beyond anything they could handle. Someone yelled that they needed to call 911. There was just one problem. In all the panic of chasing Thomas out of the house, nobody had grabbed a phone. So they rushed back to his mom's house to get one. Meanwhile, Thomas headed straight for his dad's place. Instead of knocking, he climbed in through a window. It was around 3 in the morning when he made his way upstairs and kicked open his father's bedroom door. His dad and his girlfriend were asleep. They woke up to Thomas shouting,
This is the day of reckoning! You're demons! Both of you! Thomas? What are you talking about?
Thomas, calm down. It's us.
This is Satan's house! Don't you come near me! I'm doing God's will! This house belongs to Satan! Thomas, listen to me. You're safe. Put whatever you're holding down! Thomas! Don't!
Come on. Come on!
You're next.
No! Thomas, no! Ah!
At the same time, Thomas's mom and sister were racing back toward the house after retrieving their phones. His sister repeatedly called her father, hoping to warn him. He never answered. When they arrived, they rang the doorbell over and over, hearing shouting from inside but getting no response. They immediately called the police. Officers arrived within minutes and took Thomas into custody. Thomas's father's girlfriend survived after multiple surgeries but permanently lost one of her eyes. During the investigation and trial, experts testified that Thomas had experienced a severe drug-induced psychotic episode, with repeated head injuries from years of rugby believed to have played a significant role. He was ultimately convicted of manslaughter and sentenced to 5 years in prison. The legal battle continued through several appeals over the following years. Today, Thomas has been released. It's a case that's still discussed because it sits at the intersection of brain injuries, mental illness, and drug use, and serves as a reminder of how a single night can spiral into an unimaginable tragedy for multiple families.